Well, good day, my friends. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, going to the Country Music Hall of Fame because they have a special exhibit today I think we're all going to want to see. Daze, which are in the line, and you all. It begins right now. There in the center of that banner, you'll see the most beloved woman in country music probably still, Dolly Parton. They have a special exhibit to her. Let's go see it. So we're checking out the special Dolly Parton exhibit, Journey of a Seeker, the Country Music Hall of Fame today. Been a little bit of a wait to get in. They had a line for this. Great image of Dolly. It says everything on loan here is from Dolly. This was Dolly's very first record ever made. She was 13, released on Gold Band label in 1959, Puppy Love. Written by Dolly at the age of 11 because she was too young to sign a publishing contract. The song was credited to her uncle Bill Owens. Rockabilly flavored single received limited airplay but did not chart. There's her little name on there. Here's a picture of her when she was a little girl. There's one of her awards from the BMI company from 1966, and it says here that 1959 13-year-old made her Grand Ole Opry debut even though an Opry manager refused to schedule her, citing her youth. Parton and her uncle Bill Owens persuaded singer Jimmy C. Newman to give Dolly one of his time slots. I sang a George Jones song and got an encore. Huh. That's great. This was from Put It Off Until Tomorrow. This is an RSVP for one of the award ceremonies for BMI. And then here's Dolly's release on Monument, Dumb Blonde, written by Curly Putman. Dolly's first recording to receive national airplay, peaking at number 24 on the Billboard chart. And that was her songwriting contract. Dolly and Bill Owens granted Fred Foster's Combine Music the publishing rights to their compositions when they signed this contract in 1966. What a beautiful lady. Here's one of Dolly's blouses, a patchwork blouse. And she's actually wearing it right up there. Great photo. Her tour bus with a built-in recording studio. Dolly wore this Lucy Adams dress on the cover of her debut album, Hello, I'm Dolly. 1967, how cool. Wow. Doesn't have the coat of many colors, but she has the first dress. That is a one-of-a-kind acetate of Dolly's song, Heartache Older Now. It was discovered in the Country Music Hall of Fame's archives. Quite a bit of stuff in here. Look at the back of this case. You can see the back of that jacket right there. And some of her boots down here. Hand-painted boots. Baby Breakstone at the photo shoot by acclaimed Annie Leibovitz for Dolly's album Halos and Horns. And this was a Shawland shirt. That's what that was called. Grass is Blue. That's Dolly's banjo down here. Custom built for her. Used this on her Halos and Horns tour in 2002. And actually started using it all the way back in 1992. Look at the fingerboard, it's got butterflies. Take a look at that. Deborah McGuire designed this top and fringe suede skirt to wear when she was inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Dolly said the mixture of sparkle and fringe reminded her of country and western artists who came before her. Wow. There's her Kennedy Center on her. And her shoes. Wore them at the Grammy Awards in 2019. A tribute by Miley Cyrus, Little Big Town. Joined her out there. That's cool. And look at that guitar. When inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022, she used this guitar to perform rock and her song. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so cool. Fax machine of Dolly's boots that she wore on Saturday Night Live in 1989. And then this dress, I thought that was something from 9 to 5 because it kind of looked like it, but it says she wore this hand-painted sequin floral dress at the concerts in Nakano Sun Plaza in Tokyo and on her Tonight Show appearance with Johnny Carson in 1979. Then, of course, that's what I vlogged. I was like, oh man, I wish they had something from that, but they actually have one of her costumes from 9 to 5, actually, right there. Dorley. That is really cool. And the shoes they have on display were her shoes from the movie Straight Talk, 1992. They have so many of her movie things over here. That's why I was a little confused, because they have the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. They have the sheet music from Rhinestone up there. That's really cool to see one of the costumes from 9 to 5. And her script from Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. This has a really incredible dress in it. And it says this was made by Anne Roth and appeared when she performed at the Dominion Theatre in London. Filmed by HBO, the concert was broadcast as Dolly in London. Other appearances in this dress include performances at Dollywood's grand opening in 1986 with Kenny Rogers and the Judds. And there's the very first program, I guess. Over here they have a thing where they show some of the notes that Dolly has received from her Imagination program. And then they have kind of a runner that was made for her based off the song of Many Colors. And then this outfit says this red outfit she wore for the Imagination Library event and parade in Dollywood in 1998. And because her father couldn't read, she's always been a proponent of helping people learn to read. That case is dedicated to the trio, which was Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris, and Dolly. It says Tony Chase made this. She performed the classic I'm a Hog for You Baby as a duet with the Muppets in this. She sang that song with Miss Piggy on the ABC variety series Dolly in 1987. There's the trio up there. And then that is Dolly's acoustic guitar, played by her in 1991 for the music video Silver and Gold from her album Eagles When She Flies. And that was a gift from her brother Floyd. Here's her Grammy Award for the trio. First 2 collaboration albums with Dolly and Emmylou. And then a Queen of Hearts jacket from their album. And it says she wore this at a recording session with Emmylou and Linda Ronstadt for the trio album. That was a dress she wore in 1991 for a TV movie, Wild Texas Wind. Huh. And there's a few costumes in here. Dolly wore this on his Backwoods Barbie tour in 2008, including her London O2 Arena performance and her Celebrity Theater performance at Dollywood. And then this was a balloon sleeve dress.
Right here.
And it says made by Bally in 1979, based on one of Langdon's photos of her in the dress. Interesting. And then that one's a Tony Chase. So she performed for employees of NASA in this. Concert was televised, called Kenny, Dolly, and Willie. Something Inside So Strong. She performed with Kenny Rogers and Willie Nelson. There, that's something she wore on the Porter Wagner show, it looks like. 1974. Lucy Adams designed butterfly-shaped rhinestone design that she wore on the Porter Wagner show. Yeah. Very cool. Dolly loves her butterflies. Then her key ring for her Chevrolet station wagon. Says, I was never much of a driver. I smashed the car into the building, but I didn't want to be late, so I just cut the ignition off, and bricks and things kind of scattered. After that, all the musicians and Chet Atkins and all the people they referred to as the Great Wall of Dolly. That's funny. And she apparently wrote I Will Always Love You for Porter Wagner. And then these were her shoes from the Porter Wagner show. That's obviously stage wear. Look at those bell bottoms. Wow. It says this was made by Lucy Adams, and she toured in the Traveling Family Band in 1975 and wore this on the cover of her Dolly album, 1975. Album was also known as The Seeker We Used To. And here's a manuscript, an early draft of the lyrics of Jolene, who I saw her say in an interview was written about a woman who worked at the post office that was hitting on her, or a bank teller or something that was hitting on her husband Carl. And then there's her tape recorder. That's really cool. Says she wrote I Will Always Love You, Jolene, and The Seeker, and recorded them into this. That's awesome. Wow, what a collection for such just a one-room exhibit. This is great. So here we have a few dresses. And this one, she wore in the inaugural Country Music Honors Awards at the Grand Ole Opry in 1993. Huh. And then also for a CBS TV special commemorating the 35th anniversary. And then this wild one here, along with the sketches for it, is from her 2003 video I'm Gone, from Halos and Horns. What a collection. Oh wow, look at this one. That's crazy. It's from World on Fire. It says that it has spikes and fabric and everything. Dolly wore it in photos promoting her singles World on Fire and We Are the Champions for her album Rockstar. Pretty amazing collection they have here, but I think we've seen everything, so we are going to call it a day. From the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Dolly Parton exhibit. Have a great night and goodbye.